We're pruning today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Darlac. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, today I'm going to do some pruning in the garden, and as part of the garden makeover that Jill and I are doing over the year, we're going to be taking out some shrubs and some plants that have gone past their best, which we've already started to do. Others we will leave and try and rejuvenate them a little bit, and then we can reshape the borders and do lots of replanting. And what I'm going to look at today is this shrub. This is an early spring flowering shrub called a Forsythia. Very popular, and it's great providing colour early in the season when there's not an awful lot about, because you get these amazing golden yellow flowers. And this, although it's now going over, here we are coming up to the middle of April, for the last month it's been absolutely spectacular. But as you can see, this is a pretty big bush that's a little bit out of control, and the jury's still out whether we keep this or whether we try and tame it and get it under control. I'm thinking this is probably too big. As you can see, it takes up a big space in the garden where we could plant maybe 3 or 4 other things in its place. And I would replant, if we do take it out, a Forsythia somewhere else in the garden for that lovely spring colour. But the idea of today is to show you how to prune it if you've got one. Now, hopefully you've not let yours get as big as this. And my first tip would be, if you're thinking of planting a Forsythia in the garden, don't let it grow for 10 years before you think, do I need to prune it? After a couple of seasons, or even the first year, you need to give it a light trim. That way you can keep it nice and bushy, more compact, and you'll still get masses of flower. And I think what's probably happened with this in the past, looking at the inside of it, you can see it's pretty big old branches in there. Then I think it's just been planted and left to grow maybe for 10, 15 years. And then somebody has realised that it's got too big. And then what they've done a few years ago is they've cut it quite hard back into these thick stems. And as a result of that, you then get this mass of tall vertical shoots, which makes it even bigger. So I'm armed with various tools. I've got my secateurs, pruning saw, and some long pruners just here. But what we've got to realise with Forsythia is they flower on the previous season 2- and 3-year-old wood. So you don't want to do too much hard pruning, because that just promotes strong growth that won't necessarily flower the following year. Now we can see these long stems here, this will be their 2nd year, and they have now flowered. So if we want those to flower for next year, what we would tend to do with them is you could thin some of them out, but you wouldn't want to cut them right the way back to where they were pruned last time. And this is probably a good example here. We can see that was pruned just there a couple of years ago. It made some long shoots. Now if we were to cut all of those back to keep it small, all we'd get is masses of growth next year. So ideally, once you've got these long growths, we would then maybe just prune them back to by about 2/3, leaving about 1/3, cutting them to a bud. But as you can see on this particular plant, it is just so congested and thick. So what we can also do is to take some of the older ones out by pruning them a little bit further back into there. So they will still send out new shoots, but it means that we're just opening this up so we can get a little bit more sort of air into it, so it's not congested. We don't want that real congestion. Obviously anything that's dead we would also take out. There's quite a lot of dead on this, and anything that's really weak we would take out. So that would be how you would do sort of routine pruning on a shrub that isn't out of control and isn't too big. So we are leaving some of the growth, but not all of it, and then it will flower on this and make some new growth that we can prune the following year. And it's that little and often is what we're looking for. And as I say, any dead and crossing branches we could take out. But if you've got one that is very overgrown, then what you can do is use a little saw and you can thin out some of the bigger branches. And it wouldn't be unusual on something like this. I don't know whether Jill can get round. If I just get this little pruning saw, and I actually think the more I look at this one will probably go, because it is just as you can see in here. But you know, I would probably, where we've got this massive branches in here, I would probably take this one out, or this one at the back maybe, completely, just to open it up a bit, just to let a bit more light in. So anything sort of thicker than your thumb, then you could prune some of these out like that, and then shape the top down a little bit. And one or two that you take out lower down will encourage that base growth. Because what if I were keeping this, I'd want it to be bushy from the base rather than a bare base and all this top growth on there. So now is the time to do it. So, and this applies not only to Forsythia, but any early spring flowering shrubs. So things like Viburnum Bodden and Tense that's finished, some of the early flowering spireas, the flowering currant, all the ones that sort of flower through March and April. The time to prune them is as soon as they've finished flowering, and then just cut some of the older wood out, thin them out, but don't, whatever you do, go mad. Otherwise, lots of growth next year and no flowers. And I've just spotted something on this one of interest. Forsythias are prone to this. You can see here, this branch here has completely flattened out. So it started off sort of pencil shape, it's gone flat, and then it's gone back to pencil. And this is a disorder known as fasciation, and it's where the cells in the stem mutate and they cause these flat stems. And Forsythia are prone to it, and one or two of the willows. And flower ranges like this type of thing. So if you've got these in, cut them out. Won't kill it, doesn't do any harm to it. It's just one of those little odd things that Forsythias do. And what I will say, when you've been doing your pruning, and I could spend literally, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours pruning this to get it into some sort of shape. These are really soft stems and they break down quickly. So if you haven't got a green bin to put them in, if you've got a shredder, then these can be added to a compost bin, because mixed with some grass cuttings, these will really break down quickly. And by the end of the season, you've got some nice coarse garden compost. I'm just going to feed these into here. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and I'm just going to add these Forsythia prunings to some grass cuttings, and they mix together, they rot down really quickly. You've got that dry and wet material in there. So next week we're going to be pruning again. We're going to be in a polytunnel looking at a fig and getting it into shape. So we'll see you then. Bye.